So basically, the whole point of this is you use skill 2 to get rid of any immunities they might have, and then skill 3 to get rid of their boss Arunca or Lady of the Scales target or something like that. Whoever's in the front, that's pretty scary. Then our skill 1 is 40% chance to inflict stun at maxed. If you have the souls, you can make it 100% chance with Soulburn. It still doesn't ignore ER, and it's a single target stun, so it's not that crazy, but it's nice to have, especially after you move whoever, like their boss Arunca. And because of how she works, I think you can run her kind of slow, like on this weakening set, for instance. And her artifact means that if your teammate's faster than her, she'll be able to push up 20% each time, so her speed isn't that much of a detriment. In general, though, I do think you probably want her on 250 speed. So something like this is sort of what you're looking for on Abyss Fumyr. The other build with weakening set is if you're farming a lot of weakening set, you can build that. Um, I just think you don't get that much value. Like the difference is very minimal, and you're then having to roll a little bit more on speed, where ideally you just want to get a ton of effectiveness, like 240 speed. I think this is where you're gonna be, and if you get any dupes, don't memory imprint them, but it really isn't that like you're not gonna be using them very much. They're not really worth building, in my opinion, unless you really want to. And because Blue Fumir exists, probably add her to your summon rotation, but her artifact, being able to give you the increased effectiveness buff for 3 turns is actually pretty crazy. Like, that's really strong. And having the CR push, where you get 60% combo readiness from your 3 teammates, is actually like a lot of combo readiness, especially if you're really slow. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see what, like, people are doing with that. Whether you're like got a really fast team and you really want your Lady of the Wish to take a turn, and you can just make her like turbo slow, like 300 effectiveness, like that's really interesting. Or like Sage Ball and Cezanne, like there's so many interesting ways to build her, like Angel of Angelica. Like there's so many interesting mages that her artifact gets to be used on that I'm pretty excited to see what people are going to do with it because I feel like there's something we're missing, whether it's like a Politis or something. There's going to be some unit. Aria is going to go crazy with that. Holy. Like, there's so many units that I'm pretty excited to see what this artifact can do for them. Because, yeah, just getting a turn is really interesting, and there's a lot of units you can appreciate